I still on?
Hey, drop that girl.
Do you want me to have a drink? Okay. If you want me to, I'll have one. Okay. Just a little one, though. 3:43 at the count.
Of course I do.
All right. Sam Hanna coming up.
It's the Jim Fannon Show. We've come to take your mind.
March Madness game.
Am I still on?
Here we go. Sam Hanna is in the house. Fuck, I did a whole show on this guy yesterday. Like fucking man crush or some shit. It's not time for you yet. Buckle in. It's the Jim Fannon Show. Welcome aboard. It's a hot intro, but not a hot mic. Sam Hanna. I know you were busy last night going to dinner and stuff, but like, yeah, I kind of did a preview yesterday and I brought you in kind of, I don't know, I was talking about what we're going to talk about tonight. So welcome aboard. I'm going to throw you over here on the big screen.
Well, thank you.
Oh, look at it, dude.
What were you talking about exactly? Was it good stuff?
You know what? I got high last night. I haven't been smoking that much down here, and I got hip, and you know what happens when I get hip? Even just a couple puffs down here from the dirt weed, it's garbage weed. Like, it's legal back home, you know what I mean?
Work for you?
It's legal back home. The government sells it for, I got 2 1-gram joints before I left for $9. From a government subsidized, it's retarded.
Yet another reason to live in the Dominican Republic.
No, that's good. That's legal weed. That's the best weed in the world.
That's what I'm saying.
2 1-gram joints. Yeah, so down here it's not so. Anyways, I got
high.
I was vibrating off the walls, and then I just went live and talked about what we're going to talk about tonight. So it's not a really great way to start the show.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Yeah, no problem. That's what we're here for.
As you know, yesterday was my birthday. 420.
No, right? I didn't know that. And you said birthday dinner, and I said, whose birthday? And you ignored me. You didn't hear me again.
That's me. That's me.
Well, happy
so I'm
birthday.
born on 420. And I got to tell you, not that I've ever tried it before. However, Mom, if you're watching, not that I've ever tried it before. But weed does absolutely nothing. Nothing. And I was born on 420. And actually, it's the same birthday as Hitler. And nothing but bad things happens on my birthday. It's been one bad birthday after another, like terrorist attacks and Columbine and like literally like the worst days because they follow Hitler. And so it's just like I've never really liked my birthday. Anyway, really? There you go. There's a fun fact.
Interesting. Wow. So that's a great segue. I was searching Hitler's children today. It came up on my feed somehow. I'm like, hey, I wonder who the descendants of Hitler are. I think there's a movie or something came up on my feed. I'm like, Hitler's children? Who ever thought of such a thing? I wonder who they are.
That's true.
The bloodlines.
I never even thought about that.
It died.
Do you think that the liberal media has something to do with that? Like they're keeping Hitler's children safe.
I don't know.
You don't want to talk about it.
Trying not to think about home. So, anyways, dude, that's a great segue off of Hitler and straight into real estate. So, before we get rolling, I'm gonna put you on full screen here, so you don't have to look at my mug. You know, it's the worst thing is when you've got 4 people in the screen and one's talking and all the other ones are looking into a camera. They can't even see the person they're talking to. It's stupid. So just full screen the guy, especially if they're good looking. Full screen them. So you'll be full screen the majority of the time until we start bantering back and forth. We're gonna hit some real estate tonight. We're gonna do some virtual walkthroughs and look at some stuff online. Talk about rates. Talk about why you should leave Canada. Talk about why you should cash out. We're gonna hit a couple articles, and we're probably make some predictions. I'm good on the prediction front. So, but take as much time as you need, Sam, just to give us a background, because, you know, the old salesman's pitch is they don't care what you know until they know you care.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I don't care.
So anyways, I don't care either. All right, so just give us a little background about who Sam Hanna is and how did you end up here? Start in the early days. Tell us about the football championships if you threw them, and
Oh no!
Yeah, because I've never heard the stories. We'll get into it later, maybe.
Oh,
are you drinking rum and Coke? Are we gonna get loose later?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay.
All
right.
I'm trying to show my cup, but the thing is, it's got some sort of a green screen effect.
Yeah.
And you can't even see it. If I move it like really quick,
Yeah,
I think you
because
can see
it's silver or whatever.
I'm just drinking a little punch, just a little fruit punch.
Let it go. All
Yourself?
right. Tell
Yourself?
us
What do you
all
drink?
about. I'm having a rum and coke with you. Tell us all about Sam.
Oh, you
Hanna.
got it.
The floor is yours.
So I actually discovered Cabarete in the Dominican Republic about 17 years ago. I came down here. I picked up kite surfing. Maybe 18 years ago. And that was at the very beginning. It was where, our kite technology was awful and you could literally kill yourself when the wind blew too hard.
Were you a windsurfer? Because I didn't know this.
Kite
Windsurfing came first, right? Then the kite surfing.
It did.
Okay, so were you a windsurfer or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I hated windsurfing. I was
And kite
terrible at
surfing
it.
must have been expensive when it first came in.
It was very much so. It was, I don't want to say it was expensive, but the problem was there really was no YouTube back then, so there was no way to really learn a brand new sport where you could literally kill yourself if the wind blows too hard and sucks you up into the air. So it was just this, and at the time I was in Iowa. I lived in Iowa in America, in the U.S. Those of you that don't know, it's close to Chicago, fairly close to Chicago, a couple hours away. And the thing about Iowa is that the wind is so just horrible. Like I may have gotten, I wanted to kite surf every single day if I could have. And the wind was awful. It was no wind, probably 250 days a year. And then the days that there was wind, the wind would be between 10 miles an hour and 50. So you just get that huge gusty wind, and it was just awful. So it was very slow learning process for me. And I mean, I was an athlete. I was fairly, I had good eye-hand coordination, but it was very difficult for me to learn because, I'd go out 10 times during the year in Iowa, and I was really having a hard time learning quickly. So in essence, what I did was I wanted to go somewhere where the wind blew every day. And that's literally how I found Cabarete. I just did a Google search and I said, best place in the world to kite surf. And Cabarete came up, Kite Beach came up, and I came here, brought my kites. I came here alone. All I wanted to do was kite surf every day. And I did. I think I stayed for like a week and just fell in absolute love with the place. To be honest, I loved it too much because I only, for the next 17 or for the next 13 years, I literally only stayed in Cabarete, and I didn't realize what an amazing country the Dominican Republic was. I never traveled. All I did was I kited every single day. So anyway, that's kind of what brought me here. Went to University of Iowa, to college. I kind of have an entrepreneurial background and real estate background. I went to work for a billionaire where my dad always told me to kind of nestle myself up to someone that I respected and wanted to be like. And I was lucky enough to kind of get a position kind of when I was 30 or so next to this guy who was just amazing. This guy, and he really taught me to think outside the box. And I think that's, I think what a lot of unsuccessful realtors do is that they're too just jam-packed inside a box versus really trying to go against the grain and trying to figure out a way to make the deal happen that maybe is different than. I think a lot of people want to stay in that comfort zone, where they've been there before and they only want to be there. So anyway, that's kind of what brought me to real estate. In college, we talked a little bit about college. Went to the University of Iowa. Grew up in Western Nebraska when I was little. So that's a place where I really feel like I was taught, a lot of character and the art of a handshake, something that I don't think a lot of kids know anything about anymore. But, I was fortunate enough to see my father, make some pretty big deals on a handshake. And, I saw where he could have made a lot more money 10 minutes later, and yet he chose to, stay with the original deal. And no, you know what? I made a deal with this guy and I'm going to stick with it. So I think that's, growing up, number one, you learn hard work, you learn work ethic, and you learn about education and the fact that I did not want to be a rancher, did not want to be a cowboy. I had flip-flops and shorts as I rode my horse driving cattle. And so, yeah, man, I just, I loved football. I loved sports. I loved athletics. I loved, to be honest, I love Western Nebraska in the Sandhills where I grew up. It's an amazing place, but I love to be around people more. And I think our closest neighbor was 5 miles away. So it was a little desolate.
You don't get that problem on Kite Beach. We were down on Kite Beach too. I took some live video on Facebook of the beach over in front of the Kite Club there. That's one of my favorite places to grab a drink, the Kite Club, man. It's a different world. I hate to call it the Venice of Dominican Republic, but it kind of reminds me of the old Venice, because Venice is a shithole now. But in California, when you used to walk the beach in Venice, in LA, it was everyone was fit and working out and tanned well and healthy, and it was a hippie little healthy place to be. And I get Cabaretti's got a little bit of that vibe. It's younger now, but it's healthy, it's athletic, it's well tanned, it's beautiful for the most part. These are good looking kids on the beach, man. Yeah. And it's a lot different than Sosúa is.
Kite surfing is an extremely athletic sport, and actually the Dominican Republic has produced some really, really good kite surfers, most of which you can find on Kite Beach on a daily basis. And actually the Olympics is coming up here in a couple years, maybe a little bit less. But there's a kid, his name's Aduri Corneal. He at one point in time was world champion, Olympic gold medalist. Kid saved my life 5 years ago. I had an incident with the trees in La Boca, which is where the river meets the ocean. But anyway, this kid came in and pulled me out, and I've known him since he was 5 years old. But it's been kind of fun to watch this kid grow up, and he just had knee surgery, but he's now training for the Olympics in Paris, and I have no doubt this kid's gonna. If he doesn't win, I'd be shocked. So it'll be cool to watch what happens.
You said the Olympics. What do you mean? It's world champions or something coming to Dominican?
No, the actual Summer Olympics will be in Paris next.
Oh, Paris. Okay.
In 2 years.
Right. Okay.
Paris, France. So actually the goal is my son and I are actually going to go to Paris, France to hopefully watch whatever else we want to watch, whether it be Olympics or, it's always kind of been a dream of mine to go to the Olympics. I just never really had an opportunity. So I think it should be good.
All right. So what have you been doing since you've been here real estate wise? How do you get connected and what drew you to, you're doing resorts and hotels. You're not really focusing all that much. I mean, we're doing the residential stuff, but your bread and butter seems to be business connections and marketing to your other business buyers. So how'd you get connected that way?
Yeah. So I kind of brought up the fact before I was kind of connected to an amazing human being back. It's been a long time ago. I don't even want to think about how many years ago, but he kind of taught me the ins and outs of commercial real estate. And that's always kind of been, my love. And I've loved to help people. I've loved to put deals together. I've loved to, and commercial real estate really at the end of the day provides an avenue where, it allows us to be flexible. It allows us to think outside the box, because really at the end of the day, no deal is the same. So, moved down here. I actually moved down here to Cabarete about 3 years ago. And to be honest, I didn't have really any intention of working. I had a solid internet company that was very successful. But I learned very quickly, how much I missed, dealing with people and having somewhere to be and putting deals together. So ended up starting DR Commercial Real Estate, which really allowed me and others to really focus in on our bread and butter. And actually in the Dominican Republic, there really aren't a lot of people that focus only on, hotels, resorts, investment properties, land, things like that. So I've really enjoyed kind of putting this deal together. We do have some exciting news, but we can't announce it yet.
Nice.
As far as the growth here, but but there is amazing news coming, and I'm super excited about it. But yeah, it's been fun, and actually, you know, I turned 51 yesterday, but you know, I didn't realize, you know, last year when I turned 50, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to put it on cruise control. But I miss it. And I miss the competitiveness. I miss the competitive juices that get flowing, as far as being number one. You know what I mean? Like second place is the first loser. So I want to be the best. I want to be the best there is. And so this has been cool to grow this company. And I have a couple amazing partners. That one is based in the U.S. and she is primarily focused on buyers and buyers agency and dealing with the day-to-day for buyers, and then we have other agents here that kind of work on you know, the day-to-day and listings and listing acquisition, which is why we were at Kite Beach today.
Hey man, it's a cool property, and I can't believe that you can buy a hotel on the ocean operating from a purely cash business model. Like, I mean,
So we're not going to mention names.
They
right?
don't even take credit cards. It's so cash.
Yeah.
And that's a tough business to sell, because in your world and my world of professional real estate, you want numbers. We got to see it. 100%. But I'm sitting there thinking, okay, let's call it $2 million. You got a 26-room oceanfront hotel
on Kite Beach.
On Kite Beach in Cabarete.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot, dude. You know, we were joking offline, and we had some outtakes later from the Zoom recording. You're like, dude, what? You really like this listing? What are you like? I'm like, dude, I'm selling fucking listings in the north end of St. Catharines for $860,000. Okay, this is $1.2 million. It's an 8,000 square foot, 60-acre, like off the grid. It's literally $1 million home on a mountain with 6 cut up lots, varying in size from 3 to 7 acres.
Garden, helicopter pad if you want it.
Jeez, I mean, and it's 1.2 million.
Yeah.
Like,
now let me ask you a question.
Why would anyone
how many square feet is that thing? 6,000? No, it's 8,000.
I still say it's 5,500. The
so
floor plans say 5,500. The owner says 8,000. There's a huge discrepancy. Okay.
But here's my question. I'm pretty sure those are like 20-foot ceilings in there or something crazy. That's number one. Number two,
15 foot.
Have you ever seen a bigger 3-bedroom house in your entire life?
It's huge. It's ridiculously huge. And the bedrooms aren't all that big. It's all open space. It's like,
it's amazing.
It's
glass everywhere.
It's very warehouse feel, commercial feel. Like but it's beautiful.
I dig
We're going
it.
to talk about that.
I dig it.
Yeah. So
I think what a great place to raise a family. Like, seriously. We were talking about this earlier, but you know, we're all kind of trying to figure out where the top is. But to me, if and you Canadians are way out of left field, but to me, it's like, okay, I can sell my house for what, and then I can take that money and I can buy something in the Dominican Republic for how much? And I can have 60 acres and I can literally farm on this land, make money, have privacy, and think it's unfathomable to me.
That's crazy.
How that's even possible.
All right. So, you know what? That's a great lead in, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Now, so on that note, let's get us out of here. Here's the website, drcommercial.com. You can go check it out, sign up for the newsletter, put yourself on the mailing list. Independent it's tough go, but hopefully, I don't know. And it's not the end of the world. Everyone's independent down here, but I like the brand names. Anyway, so that's
not soon to be.
Yeah, that's how you find Sam Hanna, drcommercial.com.
I don't see anything.
No, I'm not sharing it with you. It's online.
Oh,
Just
okay.
in the corner.
All right.
And this is his Facebook page. We're live on the Jim Fannon Show and on TrueTube and Twitch and DLive and all that kind of stuff. This is I did not change the titles to the show. So there's no links in the descriptions below, but I'll edit them later. This is, if you go to the TrueTube channel on YouTube, this is a conversation that I had with Sam couple months ago. Oh, December 24th. It was Christmas Eve, dude. We streamed this live on Christmas Eve, and I was hanging. We did this.
Really?
We did this from DR on Christmas Eve. Can you believe that? And it's got.
You know what, man? I actually thought that was a really good interview. I was shocked at how smooth it was. It was just like we were just sitting there chatting all along.
Nothing like we get tonight. Yeah, no. So that's a previous. I will put the link up in the show description after it's all over. But there is if you go to the TrueTube channel on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, you can see my old interview with Sam. We had some fun. It was Christmas Eve, and I was fucking hurting. Here we go. Fortune magazine.
Never know.
Fortune.com. Links are not in the description below. Home price growth decelerates again. Forecast models say the peak rate is behind us. And I have a guy talking about it here. They're going to ask me to pay? No. Home buyers got absolutely scorched last year as home price appreciation climbed to its highest level in tabulated history. That's in tabulated history. Okay. Man, this writer's really off the hook, eh? That said, the worst of the run on prices could be behind us. This is Fortune.com, all right? Routers today came out. You've probably seen this if you watch any of the mainstream media. This is what they're talking about today. Record high house prices in the U.S. March is the highest level that real estate's ever reached in tabulated history. $375,000 is the average price across the nation, I think they're saying. And my hometown, I think the average price when I got into business is like $149, $150 or something like that. And now it's like $800 or something.
Oh.
Ridiculous. So the kids, you got no absolute chance to buy something unless you're absolutely financially gifted or really creative and intelligent. But you need resources, you need wherewithal, you need to get in somehow. And you, like kids, you forget real estate. Just rent right now because there's no hope for you in this market. But it's about to come to an end. In my hometown, I keep close tabs on the Niagara Association of Realtors because I got many friends still back in there in the business, in different segments of the business. And listings are getting reduced. The market time is increasing. Multiple offers are dying out. You still get your pockets of hot activity, but it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Okay? Cash your chips in. I'm not saying bet it all. I'm saying, in fact, pull your chips off the table. Cash the fuck out. Leave the casino. You hit the lottery. Don't be a dummy, and don't sit there and do blow with prostitutes and get drunk at the table and lose everything you won. Get out now and come to DR, man. It's just like you just cannot. And lots of people are diversified with a lot of equity in the market right now, man. And I'm not saying sell it all. Maybe real estate's always a good hold. The idea in real estate is to buy and hold. Okay, so if you're in real estate for the long term, then I get that. Buy and hold, you go through the ups and the downs, and you just keep acquiring more property. But if you've got some liquid cash in your house right now and you want to diversify into a stable market that is a 3-hour flight away with a couple $100,000 or more, like in that, like $200,000-$300,000 buys you a nice little nest egg down here that you'll have forever, that you can come to anytime you want. And why wouldn't you cash out a little bit of the equity that you've gained over the last 6 years even. Like, our growth has been unbelievable. It hasn't been that long that it's gone like this. And just to give the financial kind of history of the way I understand it in DR after talking to, what's her name at Seahorse Ranch? Jennifer?
Yeah, Jennifer.
Yeah. She said from 2008 to 18, it was flat, holding value, but flat.
Yeah.
And then it was on a rise until COVID hit, and then flat through COVID, and now on the rise again. So they didn't get the shit kicked out of them. They didn't experience the big, huge dips that the rest of the world experienced.
Yeah,
in 2008.
there is no. Yeah, in the cycles here seem to be, and I don't want to speak like out of turn here, but I see that we don't get those dips. If the market is not good, it's simply flat. So you don't get the 2008 2009 crash, which typically happens every 12 years or so. I mean, it's different every cycle, but typically 10, 12 years, it goes up and goes way down. So, good real estate people will buy the dips. And it sure would seem, and I have to agree with everything you just said, it sure would seem that we are absolutely close, especially, we haven't even talked about interest rates, and inflation, but it would seem as if we're at the top, right? And to realize some of those profits and benefits tax-free in the U.S. I think it's the same in Canada, right? You can sell your house.
Yeah, your
realized gains.
Yeah, your single, your matrimonial home, or your single, what they call it, your primary residence is tax-free.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, for now, but Trudeau, there has been rumblings about Trudeau, taking a piece of even that, but it hasn't come to pass yet that I know of.
So to take that money and come down here where, the cost of living, depending on where you live, but I got to think the cost of living is half of just about everyone watching this.
And you know what? That's the other thing. The inflation has not hit the island like it has everywhere else. A gallon of gas has gone up 20 cents since I've been here 6 months. 20 cents. Yeah. And they're fucking up $1.50 in some parts of the States, at least,
Probably going to go higher.
Yeah. I mean, they're still paying, what are we paying? About $5 a gallon down here, right? So it was high to begin with.
I actually don't have gas. I have propane.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I have not seen any sort of increase as far as my gas prices.
A lot of cars are propane down here.
What's that?
A lot of cars are propane down here. I was surprised about that.
They are. It's actually very clean burning, I think, and it's a lot cheaper. I find that I'll bet you my gas bill is probably half of what the standard gas user is.
I had a propane vehicle.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's a decent product for sure. I had a dual fuel there for a while. My Delta 88 Brome.
Yeah, baby.
Was dual fuel. Anyways, you talk about the cost of living. Like I can get 2 pieces of fried chicken with brown beans and rice and a salad delivered for $3 American. 150 pesos delivered to my door in 10 minutes. And I'm full. Okay, that lunch takes care of me. I'm full, and it's delicious.
Think about what you just said.
It's delicious, dude.
You got it delivered.
Yeah,
what restaurant is that, by the way? Because I need to get that number.
That's Lilo's Chicken down beside the German barbecue the German. Shit, I'm all excited. The German.
So how much do you give your delivery guy? I'm just trying to work out the math in my brain.
I love hanging out with Lilo. I don't even know if Lilo is his name or his wife's name, but it's Lilo's Chicken. And he's a nice man. And I always give him money and tell him to give it to the senorita. Like, he doesn't need my money. He's the owner.
Yeah.
But his potato salad and pasta salad is amazing. I stopped eating the green salad down here because
making me hungry. I haven't eaten. 150
pesos. So I will vouch for the. And the alcohol is cheap as hell too. Here, if you're drinking rum, it's what am I paying? $8 for a 26er? That's 30 at home. Okay.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's easy $30.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's 26 shots, right? 26 fluid ounces.
Yeah.
So I'm not even buying 40s because the 26er fits in my freezer nice and whatever. But it's $8 American. It's 450 pesos. It's $9 American. Let's call it $11. It's still a third the price it is in Canada, for crying out loud.
Oh my God. Yeah, listen, the cost of living is crazy. Like and especially in Cabarete, and I happen to love Cabarete, but I also have started to really love Sosua, Puerto Plata, like all different places. But dinner at let's just say my favorite restaurant. I have many favorite restaurants, but like Bliss would be a French restaurant / Italian. I haven't really figured out how the two mix together, but it's a 5-star restaurant. It's amazing, and I would say 2 people can easily eat there for $30. You know what I mean? Like, so it's as good as it gets. So you can live like a king, and really you get McDonald's prices. That's the beauty.
You had to bring McDonald's into it.
They just don't. Now, I will say this, in the spirit of honesty, every time I go down to Puerto Plata, I do like to stop at McDonald's and get myself a double quarter pounder with cheese. French fries.
French fries are, you can't. Oh, wow. Fries are great.
And Coca-Cola. There's something about the Coca-Cola that flows out of those machines.
I've been known to eat the odd egg McMuffin, but that's as far as I'll go. Like, I don't.
Really? You won't do the burger?
Not anymore. Not since I overdosed as a child. I lived at McDonald's for a while on Welland Avenue. It was a bad deal. I had my share of Big Macs, and oh my God. And when I was younger, the drunken drive-through was always chicken McNuggets with barbecue sauce, so.
Oh yeah.
Those
were the bomb.
McRibs not long ago. McRib. Ooh.
McRibs, baby.
All right, so off of McDonald's. Let's do some more. Let's hit some real estate.
Yeah, let's do it.
Get rid of you. Record high prices. So the links. I'm sorry about the links. Chiquita Beach is coming up first. Caribbean Dream. We can talk about this. Another one that's, man, what she charged 28% interest on transactions on the credit card. 1.4 mil. It's 10 rooms on a decent lot. And I mean, this is right across the it's on the beach is on one side of the road, and this is on the other side of the road, right at the entrance to Chiquita Beach. Is one of Dominican Republic's best secrets, I think.
Absolutely.
Nobody goes to Chiquita.
It's very cool. It's very quaint, isn't it? It's like
nobody uses it.
There's no one ever there. The water, so it's kind of hard to explain, but the wind and the surf kind of comes in through the east, and the beach actually faces to the west. So it's protected by this, this cliff and the land kind of this peninsula that shoots out. So the water is at this beach is crystal clear. I mean, it is one of those. It's one of those experiences where you're like, okay, this is paradise. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah, just scroll through the pictures.
Photos.
Yeah,
there you go. Very modern construction. 5 years old.
Nice drone shot.
Very nice.
That really gives you, you have literally right across the street is the entrance, and you walk through those trees, and there's a little beach tucked between 2 huge boulders. And there's $1 million properties all along here.
Yeah.
The guy that owns the casino owns a bunch of properties down here, and this is that's a great shot, man. It's a great view of the.
Well, right across the street. Let's talk about this. Right across the street from this, on the water, is a mansion. Let's just be honest. It's a mansion.
Right.
I don't think we have a picture of that, but I'd venture to guess that's probably a $6 million house. Do you think?
Yeah.
You got a guess?
Yeah, no, I think you're probably. It's huge, man. It's got to be worth that. I mean, I don't know, but it's not even occupied. I don't even know when the last time somebody was in that place.
I know.
Here's the restaurant and bar. These are great pictures. I think she got when it was pristine and new and perfect for pictures. She did a great job with these, man.
Yeah. Good photos. It's a nice place. I love it.
Yeah, and then there's a room for potential on this too. She's got approved plans to build another 6 units off to the side where there's room. Here's a drone shot of Chiquita Beach. There's the 2 boulders on the top and the bottom. Oh, you can't see it in this take. Hang on, kids.
Yeah.
Let me redo this.
There's a top view of the beach. How about that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the rocks in there. Oh, shit. Producer's fucking not on his game today. Here we go. It's not the perfect shot, but there you can see that's how tight that beach is. And, I mean, you don't want to be out there when the waves are rough because I got tossed all over that beach.
You went swimming?
I went and I turned my back and I thought I could dive under the wave and I didn't time it right and it took me down the beach and give me a good tossing. I had sand in every pocket and every orifice of my body. I was covered in it. And it tossed me around pretty good. So you got to be careful. But a lot of times the waves are just like lake water. They're just lapping the beach. Oh, there's a better view of it right there. And but the hotel's not in that shot. But that's a great shot of how small Chiquita Beach is and why that.
Very cool.
There's hardly any people on it ever. So she's not only got the restaurant and bar that she rents out to her boyfriend for nothing right now, but could be a real cash cow for somebody that want to look at this place, man. 1.4 million. Are you dude, I'm selling a 3-bedroom bungalow with a garage in the north end of St. Catharines for 1.4 million. I can't understand it. And it's got some really good cash numbers. Like she's full. Literally from what is it, October to April, basically? Rammed full, every room booked, cash. Yeah. And then the slow
I don't know if we want to talk about numbers, but at the end of the day, you know, what that means is $1.4 million. If we were to say, you know, a good investment, you'd like to see at least 10%, right? 10% return. I mean, that means you got $140K a year coming in the door. And in this environment, it's a little bit different. And guys are probably making more than that. So yeah, it's a great environment. It's unbelievable.
Would she hold paper on this too? I can't remember.
She does.
No, would she hold, would she look at options like buying with 40 points down or 35 points down or something like that? Or does she want all her money out?
Would she finance? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I think it really just kind of depends on the offer. But I think that there's an option potentially to finance this. And what financing would mean here in the Dominican is probably different than what people in the U.S. and Canada are thinking. But, you know, I think in this case, maybe 40% down. And then she would carry, you know, the rest for maybe 3 to 5 years. And I think, you know, if that were to happen, I think the payments on that are reasonable. And actually, you'd have the hotel paid off in 5 years. So I think $17,000 a month is what a payment on. And that sounds scary, but.
Mm-hmm. And here's
when you're making money like this. But listen, finance it 20 years, it makes all kinds of sense.
Here's the picture off to the right. You can see just behind, to the right of the main building and behind the restaurant is an open piece of land. And that's where you can build exactly what's on the left side, which is 6 units, right? And then in addition to that, there's additional potential here because there's 2 unfinished penthouses in the top of this thing that they just need to be furnished and finished off.
Yeah.
But you could have a really special opportunity in those 2 penthouses that she's not actually using now, right? Because COVID hit some of these guys pretty hard, man. Like they went through some fucking hellish, just like a lot of people.
Oh, and it beat a lot of these hotel operators up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like mentally, think about it. Like you got to shut your entire hotel down for 2 years. It was brutal. And I think a lot of them are still digging out. They didn't have help in the Dominican Republic as far as, hey, here's $1 million. Thanks for closing your doors for a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like this is a different story. And these guys were really struggling for a long time. And I think it beat a lot of guys up, and then they're just done. So now is actually a really good opportunity of coming in where tourism is record highs and people coming in and occupancy is through the roof.
Yeah, record highs as far as tourism is great news. And now that we've, had a chance to meet different kind of business people and hearing them say, some of them saying, this is the best year we've had, and some of them saying we're at least back to pre-pandemic numbers is really good to hear. Like the girl we talked to today, she was like, we're back. We're back to before pandemic numbers. And I was like, wow, that's good to hear.
And I happen to believe that people have, we were in talking to a really large resort owner. It's a $50 million listing down in Puerto Plata, but we were talking to the general manager and what his, and he this is a very hands-on general manager, but what his take is it's different now because he feels like people have changed their mentality as far as travel. And instead of maybe taking one vacation a year, now they're taking minimum 2, more like 3 or 4. So they're living their lives, and they're really, they don't want to feel constricted anymore. And they don't want to just hoard money. They want to get out and actually live their life, which is cool to see.
I thought it was
interesting. That's good news.
I thought it was interesting to talk to, the vendor on Kite Beach today, and she was saying, you know what, more than ever, people are just dumping and leaving and showing up here like with no notice. They're not planning shit. They're doing like last minute trips, and they're just landing here and booking.
Right. You're absolutely right.
All right. Well, Chiquita Beach 1.4. That's where you find it on Realtor DR. Okay. 60 acres in the hills. I'm going to just run.
This is your favorite.
It's one of them, 1.2 million, dude. Like, hello. Like, what's not to like?
60 acres.
60 acres on a mountain with fertile soil and fertile soil and already 6 divided lots that you can sell off, ranging between 3.5 and 7 acres. Like, shit. All right, I'm gonna.
Can you just scroll through pictures of this house?
No, I'm doing a walkthrough right now through the front door of my video. I'm not putting the music to it, so we're going through the front door now. Right.
This is the famous walkthrough. Now this is where it gets insane.
There's the parking. It's a gate, obviously, electric gate. And how old is this thing now? Huge foyer.
Oh man, it's not that old.
I can't remember how much it is.
Gosh, I think the year is actually on the listing.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to think of the year. Look at that. Are you kidding me? What do we got? 15-foot ceilings?
That's crazy.
I'm just looking at. Look at the glass.
Probably, I'd go with 12.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I've been known to exaggerate.
And I can't remember the wood name.
A mahogany?
It's all mahogany, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's built like an airplane hangar. And then they went and put another roof on top of the flat roof that they had. They have an insulated flat concrete roof, and then they went and put another, was it a steel roof, insulated steel roof on top of that. So it's super quiet, it's super cool, and the new roof has all the solar panels on it. It's completely off the grid. This house doesn't have, like you see, it's wired. Every room is wired with fiber optics from the road, like landline. There's no Wi-Fi in this place currently. I mean, you could set up a router.
Not saying that you can't have Wi-Fi.
No, you could have Wi-Fi.
The owner actually likes it that way. Doesn't like Wi-Fi.
You know
so
what?
Wired with fiber optics throughout the house is a pretty big deal.
I took a liking to your girl there. And she reminded me of Chrissy Nickerson back home, the artist friend of mine. And,
nice.
And she made me realize that my tinnitus is way better now that I've been moved down here. And maybe it's because I'm not exposed to the waves. Like, the ringing in my ears is like getting to a point of driving me to madness. There you are walking through. Here comes the dog. I've watched this video before. But yeah, she made me realize that the ringing in my ears is like dropped significantly, like to a point where I don't even notice it now. I didn't even realize that since I've been down here 6 months, my like
now that you say that,
it was a serious problem that I was having, and that came after I had my pericarditis. I think I got it from taking that high doses of aspirin they put me on afterwards.
Wow. Yeah, thanks for reminding me that. I got ringing in my ears now.
Yeah, perfect. Good.
Look at that bathroom. I mean, the build out of this is just absolutely first class. It's definitely an industrial field, but this house is top of the line, top notch, everything. 1.2 million.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable to think about. And like, how far is this of a drive from your place? From Kite Beach, let's say, where we were today?
30 minutes.
Is it 30 minutes?
20.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that far.
No.
I mean, it's a hop, skip, and a jump. It's certainly not, huge. Now walking out the double doors. No neighbors, even remotely close. Total privacy. Look at that. Look at that patio. How long is that? Is that 100 foot? Or is it like 80 foot down that patio?
I can't remember. They're putting a barbecue here. Barbecue and a patio at the end of the pool, which it's kind of a weird spot for a barbecue.
Beautiful pool. Okay.
Yeah, those views are nuts, man.
Let me take a quick bathroom break, buddy.
And this gives you a good look of, let's stop it here. That's the outside look. Like, it does have an airport hangar feel to it. It's different looking. But that was a flat roof at one time. They added that metal structure on top. And it's super quiet. It's super cool in that place. And the first thing I want to know is, does the rain keep you up at night? And they're like, no, dude, that's completely insulated, that thing. And it's over a fucking concrete structure, so it might be loud outside, but inside that house, you don't hear nothing. And it stays super cool. 1.2 mil. I'm going to say 20 minutes out of Cabarete. We can map it if we need to. That's a walkthrough. We can even get some. Ooh. I put the what do you call it? Want Some by M Factor up there in the background. I had Sam all impressed. I had this uploaded, and I was playing it from his rooftop patio. Oh, yeah. It's like, dude, how did you get that up so fast? I'm like, dude, it's what I do. That is a cool property, man. One of my favorites.
Yeah, it is cool. Very cool.
All right, so that's a video. You can get the links later. I'll put them in the show description later. What do we got next? I think we talked that one through. 60 acres. Here's where you can find it.
I don't know why, but your volume's a little bit low for me.
Oh, yeah. How's that?
There you go. That's much better.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Okay, so what else we got? How do I do the Zoom exit meeting doorbells off? Where's the rest of my links? Okay, let's go back to DR commercial. You want to hit Anton Reef? If I can find it on the fly. What do you want to hit next?
Yeah, listen,
you want to hit? Do you want to go down to?
I'm totally open.
We can go get down to Casa Linda, maybe. Casa Linda's fun. Yeah, let's go to Casa Linda.
Is fun. Let's talk about Casa Linda.
All right. Sunset model.
Whew.
199.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? This is this is wrong. This is
I don't like that.
Brand new.
I like it, but I don't.
Oh my. I mean, I know it's staged and it's perfect and everything, but like, this is wrong. 199 for brand new. What is this thing? It's a 1,156 square feet on one level. 2 bedrooms.
2 bath?
Two or 2.5, it says.
Okay.
With an 8 to 9.5 thousand gallon swimming pool. And here's the thing. Number one, they've thought of everything at Casa Linda. There's no flooding. The drainage is they've been doing this for 25 years. They built 400 villas and way too many condos as well on a bunch of like gated communities. So there's nothing they haven't thought of yet, including the financing. And I mean, this one, well, Encuentro Beach, Encuentro, is that how you say it?
Encuentro.
Yes, see. It's already sold out. And so is 10 and 11 are sold out. And then they just released 12, phase 12. And phase 12 is, I think, half sold. They released 80 lots the other day, and 40 of them are sold, I think, now.
40 were sold day 2, right?
Yeah, they had 33 in the second day sold.
Okay, and now we're at 40. So what do we got? Another couple weeks left of being able to sell these to people?
10 days, 2 weeks tops.
Yeah, I think the word's getting out.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this is an incredible about it. Can you go to the Capri?
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about the Capri.
I'm having a hard time on the website getting to page 2.
Oh.
Let's just go to you.
I don't even know if it's listed under me.
Capri. Capri's 2 and change, right?
Yeah, it'd be 207, is it? It's 217.
I can't see it here. Maybe it's in Nicole's name?
Nada. I can pull some info, but
here's Sunbreeze 249.6.
Let me I got a walkthrough video. We could just kind of show that.
Yeah, I should have had this loaded already.
Here, I actually got that.
The Sunbreeze's backyard is perfectly set up to have a bunch of people in it. Look at this. Now, this isn't exactly the way I remember. It was flip-flopped, I think. But there's so much room behind that wet bar and barbecue space that faces the pool. It's like you can imagine a group of people in there with no trouble.
Yeah.
Easy to entertain, easy to rent. And it's brand new. And this will be in phase 12. So you can hold a lot in this community right now for $25K. You break ground in January of next year when you need 35% down, less than $25K. And then what's the next payment after that? 65% or something?
So it goes, it's 35 down. So it's 25 to hold the lot.
Yeah, 35% when you break ground.
It's 35 minus the 25 that you put down. So it's 35 total.
Right.
Then the next phase is 4 to 6 weeks later is 30%.
Okay.
Then 25% approximately 6 weeks later. Then 10% is held until closing.
Right. Okay.
Until possession. I actually have a walkthrough. You want me to share this?
Yeah, sure. Put it up.
I don't know if that would. Let me see if I can share it. There we go.
You can do it.
It's not going to be. I took it the way that you don't like it, so.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I can.
You're not a big.
There we go. That look better?
Yeah, this is a fucking beautiful layout.
Walk into a really open kitchen.
And the dormers up top with the lit ceiling there is.
Check it out. That is a bump
$7,000
up. So that's actually an addition.
Mm-hmm. $7,000 for that.
But that That is a $7,000 addition that I highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the tile on the floor. Like this villa is all standard.
Right.
Cabinetry. I mean, in.
Oops. Got a bad look going on here.
There's the pool. Oh, you want to go outside your pool? So this is 2 bedrooms, and this starts at $217.
That black tile makes it too. I love black on the floor.
I love how the rooms kind of.
Oh, it's destroying your internet connection. All right, stop sharing. Stop sharing. It's destroying your bandwidth, I think.
Okay.
It wasn't before,
Okay.
but this is the time of night when it starts to get the witching hour. It could be on either end. 8 o'clock is when you get the high traffic. That's a good walkthrough, man, and that's one of my favorite floor plans, the Capri for 200 and well less than 250. Talk about the fees. Okay, so now we got the structure on the way in. 25 holds the lot, 35% total and groundbreaking. 6 weeks out, up to 65%. It's another 6 weeks out, up to 75%, or whatever it is, and then 10 held for close.
Yeah. So listen, a lot of guys, we haven't really talked about it, but a lot of people are coming and buying investment properties for this very reason. And what we're seeing is the rental market in this area. These houses are 70 to 80% occupied. That literally, like every property manager that we've talked to, they're 70 to 80% occupied. And they're charging for this particular villa, they're charging $250 a night, $225, $250.
Yeah, what they say,
depending on the time of year.
$60 a bedroom.
Yeah. So the 3-bedroom. So in essence, let me try this share screen again. Can I try it one more time?
Yeah, sure.
So we'll see it. We'll see how it works. Let me get it set up here. All right, and then all right, now I'll zoom in on this. So, how's that? Is that okay? Internet's solid?
Yeah, zoom in though.
Okay. Better?
Yeah, I'm going to zoom it for you. Okay, go ahead. We don't need our pictures up there.
So the Capri, let's just talk about the investment here first. So, and this is something that we put together. It's a pro forma. It just kind of talks about, as an investment property, how is it going to perform, right? And most people want to see an average of about a 10% return. It would be an amazing return on investment in the U.S. and Canada, I'm assuming. So the cost of actually buying one of these starts at $214. That's the base price. And then we're going to add a bedroom to this Capri model, and a bedroom and a bathroom is $36,000. The ceiling bump, which is what we just talked about, is $7,000. And then on average, an appliance package, stove and a fridge and washer and dryer, $3,000 plus or minus, whatever. And then furnishings, we like to say 10,000 a room, 25,000 for the total house. Should cut it. So in essence, I actually have revenue projections. So we talked about occupancy rates. And so this spreadsheet just allows us to plug in all the dates, to plug in occupancy rates. So that's 256. If you were to only use this as an investment property, just buy it, build it, rent it out, have someone else manage it for you, this is where we'd be. An average daily room rate of $225 for a 3-bedroom close to the ocean is very reasonable. At 70% occupancy, minus our expenses, and I can kind of walk through expenses really quickly, but it puts us at a net income. That means income that you're going to take home every year is $37,000. And that's year after year after year. And that's about 12 to 13% return. And that's not including property value increases. This is just simply cash on cash. This is cash coming in the door, right? Our expense detail, we just kind of walk through what are expenses when you have a rental property. Let me see if I can zoom this into. No, it's probably pretty small.
Good.
How's that?
Good.
Okay. So electricity, $300 a month. I think it's going to be lower, but I want to, when I estimate something, I want to do it on a high scale. Definitely not, or conservative. So water bill, it's a flat rate. It's $39 a year, or I'm sorry, $39 a month. Cable and internet, $100 a month. Garbage, no garbage. That's taken care of with our monthly HOA fee there. Management fee. So to have someone manage your property for you, the costs, and it's variable, but to get a really good property manager that is a super host, and that's something that we can help investors find too, is a good property manager, because you want them to keep your property full so that it's not just sitting there empty. But that fee is typically 10%, and then $50 check in, check out. And that fee is going to be roughly $5,700 a year. And then check out and check in, check out with 250 clients is $3,000 a year. Our security and HOA, and that's variable depending on how many bedrooms you have, is $400 roughly a month. And then maintenance, I factor in, it's actually for the first 5 years, there's a 5-year warranty, right? So, I mean, there's in essence not going to be any maintenance other than, if something were to happen to the villa, but that's what Airbnb pays for. They have $1 million, I believe $1 million insurance policy if people were to damage your property. And then linen, amenities, $100 a year, sheets, if you were to replace sheets. Property tax. So let's talk about property tax. We haven't even talked about the tax incentives yet. So the tax incentives, if you are to buy a brand new villa like this, you are tax exempt for the next 10 years. And that includes transfer tax. So there's typically, if you're buying a villa, a used villa in the Dominican Republic, there's a 3% transfer tax. And so that 3% goes straight to the government. It's non-negotiable. On this new construction, there is absolutely nothing. So you literally save on a $300,000 house, you're going to save what, $9,000 just on transfer tax. Wow. And then, so there's no transfer tax, there's no property tax for 10 years, and there's no tax on income. So
that's the part
all
I was
the income
about.
that you have coming in with that villa is tax-free.
That's
insane.
It's a good program.
Insane. And then insurance, so a total of $19,000 a year. So let's just go to income expenses. I don't want to bore people here, but let me zoom this into, yearly, we walk through the income, total income, 7,487, or I'm sorry, the gross income, 55,700 a year coming in the door, minus your expenses. And your net income of $35,000 a year. It's a no-brainer. And that's about a 13% return on investment. And that's at 70% occupancy. So if you're more like 90% occupancy, your returns go through the roof. And if your expenses are more in line with what they actually would be, your expenses would be way less. I just try to be extremely conservative on these.
Well, I'm paying 2,100 a month for high-speed internet. That's $40.
2,100 pesos?
Yeah, you got 40. That's $40. You got 100 there, so you're double what my rate is for internet.
Right.
So yeah, your numbers are far from conservative on the like $300 a month.
I don't even
that's
think
a big
cable is even necessary here, because everything is literally over the internet, right? So there are TV packages that you can subscribe to for like $9 a month with every channel in the world.
Right.
So that's really, at the end of the day, it's just internet. Internet would be the biggest cost.
All right. You had cable TV in there then. I got it now. So yeah, that would be more in line with $100. Castle Linda's a bad boy, man. They thought of everything over there.
Yes, it is.
All right.
I just hope we could, honestly, I sit here and I go crazy. I think you probably do too, Jim, but I sit here and I go crazy seeing this opportunity and seeing the real estate prices go out of this world in the US and Canada, thinking, hello, like bring that, cash out, bring that down here to a stable environment, make some money, ride it out until that crash happens, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
What's next? What do you want to hit? I'm on
I think I stopped sharing, didn't I?
Yeah, good.
We're all
Thank you.
good.
Yeah. Home. You want to hit Anton Reef? Speaking of good investments.
Sure. Let's do it.
I can't find anything on the website. I'll go back to you. I should have had this. Oh, fuck. I had all these links. I didn't link
I
Anton
thought you
Reef.
did.
There we go. Gorgeous 21-room hotel. Let me put my radio voice on for this. Dude, this is king. This is the king right here. 21 rooms, 5 years old, restaurant and bar, rooftop pool.
Fannon's gem.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites, man. Talk about a good cap. I think it's 13%. Nets $250 a year, fully occupied, $30K a month gross. I mean, with room to improve. I mean, he's got to deal with the restaurant he's got rented out, but it's 5 years old. It's on the main drag. What do they call it? Pica Casante, or what's that main drag called?
And I don't even ask me that question.
I'm
I'm terrible at the road names.
Me too. I'm terrible at a lot of things. Here's the restaurant. My boy DJ Blade was DJing in there every Friday night. I got some video of that up on the YouTube channel. There's
Really?
a little lounge. Yeah.
The VIP?
Yeah.
VIP lounge?
Yeah.
Nice.
I went down one Friday night and took some live video of him. He does a nice job.
Are we allowed to talk about this, actually?
Yeah, I think so. It's not social media. And there's the rooftop pool. Backup generator. It's mint. And every room looks like this. Every room.
Pretty sweet.
No, it's king size, man. So that's VIP. Pretty good numbers on that bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
What else we got here? What else you want to hit? Those are some of my
I had
favorites.
a
anyway.
massive list of things. One of the things, I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, we're going to talk about some of the myths, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
To me, as an American, I can't speak to being a Canadian, but as an American, we're always kind of taught, don't go to the Dominican Republic. It's so dangerous. There's murders every. Listen,
Yeah.
I have never in a million years felt unsafe here. Have you felt unsafe?
I was,
ever?
that was one of my biggest concerns when I came down here is the crime. And I came in my door and I locked it behind me the first time I came in here. And I came home one day, my door had blown open because it didn't latch. It was still locked, and I shit myself when I walked through the door. And now I don't it's not a big deal, man. Unless you think, especially in Sosua, unless you think prostitution is like a crime, there's just nothing,
No.
I don't know, man. No. Every experience I've had down here, especially with the locals, be them Haitian or Dominican, the local people down here are nothing but sweet. So I just haven't experienced it. And I've been alone at night. Now, I will say, being a blonde down here is something different if you're walking alone by yourself. You know what I mean?
I've heard.
But
I wouldn't know.
being a guy And I've had no problems even late at night. So, yeah, that is the one myth that gets blown out of the window. And
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I think the locals are actually very self-policing for the most part, especially in Cabarete. If there is a bad apple that comes into town, they realize, listen, these locals realize that their income depends on tourists. And so they're very careful about how other locals are treating us. And crime is, if people come down here and see crime and they get robbed and get mugged, and they'll never come back, right? So they're long-term thinking, and when I say self-policing, I'm sure they're gone. They're not welcome in Cabarete or Sosua if something like that were to happen. So
I met a kid.
Anyway, that's kind of a cool thing.
I met a kid on the beach the other day. They were a mission group from a church in Charlotte. And they were the whitest kids on the beach. They were just like the blinding white skin of the Charlotte natives or whatever. And they were so impressed with how clean the water was. They said they couldn't believe it. And Eric was his name. He's out swimming. He's like, dude, if I see a shark, I'm so out of here. I'm like, dude, there's no sharks.
No.
There's no sharks.
None.
There's no sea urchins. You don't have to worry. There's nothing in these waters that's going to kill you. Actually, there's nothing on the island that really is going to kill you. And that's another thing I was like weirdly it's self-conscious about coming down here. It's like, shit, you're leaving your country. You're going to a developing third world country, as they call it. I don't know. It's weird because it's so modern in so many ways and so backward in so many good ways. But there's snakes and spiders and stuff up in the jungles, but down in the city there's nothing, and there's nothing in those waters. And the kid says, "What about jellyfish?" I go, "No, dude, there's nothing. Like nothing happens in these waters here," which is another misnomer or urban legend. Yeah. What about hurricanes? Yeah, well, I'm told that we're protected from that, too, because you got the mountains behind us and the reef in front of us, and it really cuts all the shit down. And, Haiti gets rocked by hurricanes, and we get nothing over here. It's weird. There's never been a recorded hurricane on the North Coast in the Dominican Republic. No shit, never. Wow. Yeah. I distinctly remember there was a hurricane, 30 miles north. See, that's the thing, is the mountains kind of divert. So the hurricanes start, the mountains actually do. This is perfect timing. Protect the North Coast. So the hurricane either heads straight. I don't know. You still. Time to say goodnight, Sam. I had you frozen like this for a couple minutes, and now he's just gone. You got me now? Am I back? You're back. Your video's not back, but I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly. Oh, wow. That's a good. All right. Anyway, we're protected, Jim. No hurricanes. What other myths you want to bust tonight? Hurricanes, sharks? Man. Cost of living. We walked through a lot. Good. Record tours, the Forbes. It's the number 2 island in the world to flip houses. Behind Panama. Remember that one? That was a cool article that came out 2-3 days ago. Mm-hmm. Very cool. And I will say this. No, actually, that article is 2 years old. Oh, it was. Okay, but still, even more true today. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Mm-hmm. The Dominican Republic is the lowest cost of construction in any Caribbean island. It's unbelievable how cheap labor is down here. Yeah. And everything's concrete, so you don't have to worry about lumber prices. Right. And cement is, well, I know it's not cheap, but it's what they use down here. And, even at Casa Linda, I like the idea that they're using foam insulated panels now. So they pour So you actually have the option, right? Yeah. And it's the same price. And it's supposed to be acoustically, it's supposed to be a lot better, and thermally a lot better as well. Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, labor's so it's very cool that they give you that option. Yeah. Anything you want to do down here, you can rebuild an engine in the standard Suzuki for 500, 700 bucks, like depending on your $1,000 tops. We're back in North America. The change of an engine is going to cost you $3,000.
$5,000?
$5,000 maybe.
More?
Yeah. No, I was talking to somebody about an Isuzu L7. It's like Suzuki L7. Suzuki's got all kind like it's a dime a dozen down here for parts and whatever, and the labor's so cheap. And I said, how much if I blow the engine? She said $1,000, like to do it right here at OK Motors. So you got a $5,000 vehicle, and the vehicle was in good shape. I mean, it didn't have any ticks, and it ran well and whatever. It was 5Gs and well taken care of. And then I asked her how much if I blow the engine. She said $1,000 American. I'm like, Jesus.
Hey, let's talk about small engine repair. So you can literally take, and you're probably more experienced in this than I am, but I've taken a motorcycle I thought was going to cost me at least $500 or $600 to get it up to speed, to replace everything, to get everything going. And I mean, literally, I'm talking $20, $30, where these guys are doing tons of work and they get it done like literally right away. You don't have to make an appointment like the tire shop. You go to the tire shop, you got a flat tire, you just literally pull in the shop, you're in and you're out in 5 or 10 minutes. And the cost is $10 for a replaced tire.
Dude, the first time I came to the Dominican Republic, and this is one of the reasons I fell in love with Sosua. I'm on the back. I got my mom or my brother, I can't remember, probably my mother in the back of this Enduro, like a Honda 175 or 250 or whatever. Rented a bike for the week. And we're going. I think we were going to Chiquita Beach Casino, Chiquita Casino, whatever they call it. And I broke my chain on the way there, and I didn't know what the hell to do. And by that, there was nothing on the coast between the resort where I was at, Casa Marina, and it was all like fields between there and the casino. And so I'm broken down. I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere, right? And this kid comes along and literally with sticks and stones, not a tool, he pulled the master link out, put the chain back together and on the bike. Now, it was tight as fuck. It was fucking whining on the way home because he didn't move the wheel. Like, how are you going to change it? You can't move the hub with no wrench, right?
He got it back together.
He got it back together with sticks and stones, like whatever was in that field, he used, and he fixed it. And I paid him, I can't remember what I paid him, but when I came back, Travis Gillen, one of my buddies, who's very well-versed Italian guy, traveled the world, been to a bunch of third world countries. He goes, yeah, Jimmy, except the problem was you paid him 10 times more than he was worth. I don't know what I gave him, but I was just happy to get rolling. Like in the middle of I have to get away from the 20% tip down here because I'm just so trained.
You're conditioned and you feel bad.
You got $100 deal. You get $100 meal with tax in Canada. I leave $120. And that's no more, no less. I'm a 20% tipper. And down here, it's like you don't tip like that, man, because then you're a target. You're a rich guy that's throwing money around or whatever. It's like,
and they don't take offense. But there is also that they have a 10% buffer a lot of the time that we don't see. You know what I mean? So I think they call it ITBIS or something like that.
Yeah, I don't eat at those restaurants that charge that tax, man. Like, seriously, when I see that tax, I'm like, fuck that tax. Like, I hate that tax.
I'm out.
And then are you going to tip on top of that tax? Or is that tax with the tip in there? I don't know. But, man, it's like, you ask me how much I tip Lilo when he comes. I don't tip him shit. I just tell him here's 50 pesos for the girl. You know what I mean? I love talking to the guy. Yeah, man. And the food on the strip, I mean, I got a styrofoam container, like the standard size, full of potato salad. And this is some of the best potato salad I've ever had.
I need to try this.
And it's warm Weirdly,
Ooh.
yeah. It's good when it's cold, but when I buy it, it's still out of the it's warm, and
Right.
it's fucking delicious. And it was 150 pesos for I'm getting 4-5 meals out of this container. 150 pesos, and then I told her to throw in a couple pieces of chicken the other day. It was 350. Yeah, 150.
Yeah.
No, it was 250 because the 2 pieces of chicken were 50 pesos each. So yeah, I'm thinking here. The first day I got out of there, I'm like, this is a lot of food for 150 pesos. And then I got brave and added 2 pieces of chicken to it, and it cost me an extra 100 pesos.
Hey, one sec. Somebody's at my door. One sec. Be right.
I think that's when you know basically that you're done with your guest, when he starts to answer the door. So let's just cut him loose. He'll come back and we'll be done. That'd be nice, eh? It'd be like cutting Clarice. We were talking about that earlier. Am I still on? That's what Clarice would say when she used to call my show at 610 CKTP, or she used to call Tom McConnell on 610. Sonny used to just say, hello, hello. But yeah, Clarice would say, am I still on? That's where that comes from. All right, so that is that. Shit, it's 8:30 already. Perfect time to get out. Maybe we'll do a little recap, kill some time. Here we go. Sam Hanna is the founder, co-founder, and CEO. Here he is on the fake book. Here's my last conversation with him on the YouTube. That's the YouTube TrueTube channel. Record high prices. You're probably seeing this in the news if you watch American news. They've been talking about this a lot lately. April 20th, yesterday, U.S. home sales dropped to the lowest level in nearly 2 years in March as house prices raced to a record high and could decline further with the... You know what? This is horrible. I am not the best writer, but this is Reuters. Reuters? Reuters. I don't know. Reuters, yeah. And let's just listen to how awkward this opening is. Washington, April 20th. Reuters. U.S. home sales dropped to the lowest level in nearly 2 years in March as house prices raced to a record high. And what's with the comma before and? It's not an Oxford comma. You're not listing. Oh, holy shit. And the and is could decline further. So just from a grammar standpoint, what are we doing here? U.S. home sales dropped to the lowest level in nearly 2 years in March as house prices raced to record high. Okay. So that's a really weird conundrum and really awkwardly worded. Home sales dropped to the lowest level, but prices are at record highs and could decline further. That's just, oh my God. Learn how to write. Even with home sales falling back to their pre-pandemic level, the housing market remains hot. Houses sold in March typically stayed on the market for only 17 days, and the share of all cash sales was the largest in 8 years. The report from the National Association of Realtors on Wednesday showed. The housing market is at a crossroads for this cycle, with a strong demand from the past 2 years starting to ease as higher prices and rising mortgage rates push some buyers out of the market. Some bed Ayers, senior economist at Nationwide in Columbus, Ohio. Existing home sales dropped 2.7 to a seasonally adjusted average of 5.77 million units last month, the lowest level since June 2020 when sales rebounded from COVID lockdown slump. Data for February was revised sharply down at a rate of 5.93 million units from the previously reported 6.02 million units. So I don't know how you don't look at this and think to yourself, it's something.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, no, it's all over, dude. It's the final round, and you need to at least get some of your equity out and put it in a stable location, and let's call that DR, Dominican Republic.
I think that is a safe assumption, and I think our property values. Talk about that. We haven't really talked about appreciation here, but I mean, the last couple of years, we've seen 10 to 30% increases per year. So we're steady, and we haven't not ever, but we, again, when the real estate market is bad around the world, typically real estate values will stay flat. We don't see the market values go, down by 50% or 30%. It's, an investment down here is pretty stable.
Also, bird dog fees down here are cool because I could never use a bird dog fee in Canada because I'd lose my license, and a lot of things down here are just normal that we never did back home. But bird dog fee is one of them. You can pay anyone for sending you business, and also there's room because in most cases, like not so much in the commercial stuff when you're talking about $2 and $3 and $50 million resorts and condo buildings and hotels and stuff like that. But the residential real estate's 10 points. So as a buyer, if you got a good relationship with your agent and you're a buddy of his, I mean, we can take care of you on the end of the commission, pretty nicely with a cash payment.
Yeah.
Even if you're just sending us business, or if you're, a repeat client, or somebody that's loyal to the business or whatever, man, we can take care of you nicely there in that department because I'm used to working for 2%, 2.5%, 3%, and down here it's 10. So you know what, buyer kickbacks are a lot easier when you get a 10% commission rather than 2.
100%. And it's a cool way to network, right? As you're walking around town, hey, if you ever know anyone that's buying or selling, let me know. I'll take care of you. Like, we can't literally say that at home. Mm-hmm. We can't. They'll gank our license, incredibly fast if we were to do something like that. It's unheard of.
What the other thing that's occurred for me too is like anybody can be a realtor down here, and you have a good business sense, so you've taken well to real estate because real estate's not that difficult. It's if you're doing hotels and businesses, it's all numbers. It's businesses, right? So you've got some good training there and had some good mentorship. But I mean. Where was I going?
We were talking about being a realtor.
Oh yeah, anyone can be a realtor down here. And as I do my my MCE courses back home, because my license is coming due, I realize the value of not so much the schooling and the training, because they don't really teach you much in real estate school that you use when you get out of it. Yeah. But even the update courses and being trained as a realtor, where you can't. Like down here, it's the Wild West, but I can't call myself a salesman in Canada because it's not a preferred term. It's not right. The branding, they take it very seriously, and it occurs for me. Not only the rigorous moral and ethical boundaries of Canada that are wildly unnecessary for the most part because they're designed to weed out the bad apples, and there's so few bad apples, but that the experience of knowing how to talk to people and put deals together, and the scripts and the stuff that a lot of these guys down here have no clue. And you expect service. You expect your guy to be a closer. You expect your guy to know how to get parties together, how to negotiate, how to rub the ears, know when to kick ass, know to. And I was talking to an agent down here, and she was new. It reminded me how much I love coaching. Know when to shut up.
Right.
If something is, well, would you reduce your commission? No.
So true.
Like, you got to know there's the power in just shutting up and not selling. And these new guys down here, they just don't have the training. They don't have the salesmanship. And you need that if you want good representation. And I think you're a natural to the game, and you've been playing with the game for a lot of years since you've been down here. And you came naturally through your business connections and your networking and the sale of businesses and opening franchise and running pizza shops and stuff. All the shit that you've done, you've taken nicely to it. But it's like every other rule, 80% of the flunkies out there sell one house a year and don't have a good lawyer, don't have a good contractor, don't have a good rental agent. They have no connections, and they don't have the salesmanship to get it done when you need a closer.
Yeah. That's the key. That's the key is connections, right? So anybody can sling real estate, but it's really, it's about being able to, when someone comes down and wants to crush it, maybe wants to open up a business, maybe wants to do something special, it's being able to introduce them to the right people, because in this country, it is all about who you know. In life, it's all about who you know, but especially here, right? So to be able to introduce them to the best attorney that's qualified to do what they want to do, to be able to set them up, in business, to be able to open a bank account, to be able to, all the things it takes in order to relocate or do business down here and open a hotel or be in, whatever it is that they want to do. Yeah, absolutely. It's about connections. And I feel fortunate to know the best of the best. So it's been great. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Are you looking to recruit like a stud to take the load off of some of the stuff that you're doing? Because like you're getting to the point now where, you're going to have your plate too full. Stuff's going to start overflowing. People aren't going to get called back soon. Like, what are you looking for as far as like a stud is? If you were going to, and I asked you this offline the other day, because I'm looking for it as well. Like, who have you done business with down? You don't need to name them, but what type of person have you done business with down here that you're like, oh, I need them on my team.
I need something like that.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting that you say that because honestly, I believe what got me into real estate down here was knowing what I didn't want to be, and working with a realtor, and they're not even realtors. That's not even call them realtors. They're agents. They've never been in real estate before, so they don't understand how the game works. But I do know what I don't want, and you know what I mean. Like calling people back, just like the standard things that you and I were, working for this billionaire. One of the most valuable things he ever taught me was, it doesn't matter who it is, always try to call him back within 15 minutes. And he literally did the same thing too. So if it was the garbage guy calling to say, hey, you missed your payment, he would literally call them back. And it always impressed me. Now, it's difficult to do sometimes, but it's just it's important to be professional, and it's important to be on time. You know what I mean? It's important the fundamentals that you and I were taught in business growing up. Most of the agents down here have no clue. So, and honesty,
that agent's
integrity.
like, oh, I'm late for everything. No, you're not with me, dude. Like, no, we don't.
Look, man, and being a person of your word, and there are a select couple. You're one of them. Where I can trust that if I have a big client coming into town, you're not behind the door trying to figure out what this guy his number is to try to call him when I'm not looking.
I think it starts out in a simple thing too. Like, I'm on time. My word, I try to make 100%. My word is impeccable. You know what I mean? If I'm not on time, I'm making a new deal. Like today, you got immersed in a negotiation. We had an appointment, and I was on it. I was already a half an hour before the time we're supposed to meet with her, saying, hey, my guy hasn't gotten back to me. That's not usual. He, something happened, so we're at least going to be late, and maybe we'll have to rebook it. And she was totally cool, and we were
Very
there
cool.
3 hours later because you had a busy morning, and it was like shit happens, but you have to have honor for your word, is what I call it, and impeccable integrity when it comes to being your word. If you say it's noon, then you don't show up at 12:20 without a really good apology. And it's not like, the kids made me. It's not. No, it's your fault you're not on time.
Right.
You can't pass that off to anyone else. You know,
That's right.
I'm late for
It was
everything."
me.
No,
It's my
you're
fault.
not. No.
I'm sorry. That's right.
All right, brother.
No, I agree. And so, listen, to answer your question, yeah, I have a pretty great assistant. And, moving forward, we're going to get even busier. As you know, you're privy to some of the things that are going on, but we're going to be really, really busy very, very soon. And yes, there will be some opportunity, down the road for growth. And I'm not taking on people that aren't gunslingers, that aren't the best of the best. My vision and my goal is to hire the best of the best, and guys that actually want to be here and do and be the best.
That's the thing. I mean, as long as you got hustle built into you, you can be taught everything. I mean, you got great mentors that can teach you like what you need to do with the scripts, tactics. Like knowing when to shut up is the most powerful thing. I think it was my mother that taught me that. It's just like, no one did, like, the nervous seller that never stops talking, sell, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, make your point and just shut your mouth, man.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I think we've exhausted it. I wanted to keep you on time. We've already rolled out. Shit, that's almost 2 hours. It's 1:47, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
You were worried we weren't going to be able to fill an hour. I'm like, dude, no, this is like...
I knew we had plenty of content. We actually had a lot more content, but we'll do it another time.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your time. Say hi to the lady for me. It was a great meet today. I can't wait to get that thing locked down so we can talk about that on the next show. And that's another, for a couple $1 million, you can buy a hotel on the beach, man.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Love you. We'll talk
All
soon.
right,
Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
That's how you do that. That's Sam Hanna. And you can find him at all the links that are not on the show description because I forgot to change the title and I just went live. I was so anxious to get in with my, I went in with this today. I started with this for 10 minutes. Excuse me. Just so he could share the link out and stuff like that. And I forgot to change the show title. So the show title is exactly the same as the show title was last night when I came on and went, I'm high. Well, we had some fun with it. Gavin McInnes comes up in 10 minutes. So that means I am out of here. I love my live show. Maybe I'll get in as a caller this week. I got nothing planned, but I don't usually need much planned. But I've finished my Cuba Libre. So it's 1 liter. It lasted me the whole show. It's an hour and a half. How many shots are in there? 3? Maybe 4? I don't know. Peace, love, hug your neighbor. And whatever you do. Take that fucking mask off your 2-year-old. I love you. I am out.